Welcome. This is the JV match. If you're just tuning in, had a little bit of technical issues. So, Stanley Boyd versus Regis here. 8-0. Regis is up. Inbound pass to Carter Pischke. It's Noah Labor. Poked away. It's Anthony Riccardi, not Andrew. Pischke on the wing. Aguirre. Baltz. Pass over to Shiloh. And that's taken away by Anthony Riccardi. So here's Chase Brogelman. Taking it up. Drive by Labor. Pass to Baltz. Can't get it. And rebound by Pischke. Lyric Lamson was there for the rebound and kind of bounced out to Pischke. Pischke pass to Weldon. And he gets it. That was Shiloh Wellner from 3. Knocking it down, puts the first points on the board for the Orioles. Brogelman. So Brogelman, Boda, Labor, Baltz, and Riccardi is the lineup right now for the Ramblers. Weir, Wellner, Lamson. Is that 2 number 40s? It almost looks like. It's gonna be a foul. Yeah, there are 2 number 40s out there. So I think it's Connor Goebel and Lyric Lamson are the 2 40s. As that's Micah Olson coming in for Anthony Riccardi. Boda inbounding. And that's stolen away. So I think that's Goebel, the 6'5". They kind of have different jerseys on. You can see he's wearing Under Armour and Lamson's wearing Adidas. There's Wellner. Jab step. Can't, oh, he got it to go. The bank shot by Wellner. I thought that was going to be off the backboard. So here's Brogelman. Pass to Olson. Boda drives. Can't get it to go. So here's Pischke. Few rebounds so far. Hands it off to Wellner. Wellner looks like he thought about it. Driving. I think you could hear the bench kind of clapping it up there, trying to get them riled a little bit. So we'll get Landon Ewer and Ryan Stark come in for, I think that was Connor Goebel and Shiloh Wellner coming out. Pischke hands off to Aguirre. Can't get it, stolen by Olson. Olson kind of stops. 3 by Brogelman, can't get it. So big matchup later tonight if you're going to stay with us, as it's kind of a must-win for both of these teams, as Regis is half a game back and Stanley Boyd's a full game back, as there's Olson. That was kind of an attempt by Aguirre. Here's Brogelman, a little crossover. Labor drives, Euro step, off the glass, good. There's Labor for 2. Labor and Olson kind of had him trapped in the corner. That's Stark. And Labor was the only one, and Pischke's calling for it. Over to Pischke. Screen, shot. Can't get that to go, but Brogelman's there for the rebound for the Ramblers. Brogelman driving. Kind of looked like a travel, but it'll be a foul. Foul on number 24, Landon Ewer. So Boda and Baltz will come out for Tarbox and Andrew Riccardi. That is Brody Tarbox. On to Brody. Tarbox gets it. So first few seconds and he's already impactful. And there's Andrew Riccardi. gets the floater. Kind of layup, more than a floater. Inbound to Stark, over to Ewer. Up to Wellner. Wellner drives, uses the glass, good. Here's Riccardi inbound to Brogelman. So, Orioles coming back just a little bit. Got a lot of points on the board really quickly. As they're swinging the ball around, lots of motion by Olsen. And there's Labor driving, uses the glass, and it's good. Kind of his strong suit. A little bit of a slasher. There's a good pass to Stark. Oh, it's off the foot. I think that was off the foot of Lyric Lamson. Here's Hayden. Goebel will check in for Lyric Lamson. And Carter Whiteside comes in for Noah Labor. So it's Riccardi, Brogelman, Whiteside, Olsen, and Tarbox for the Ramblers. Drive, bounce pass to Tarbox, working on Goebel there. Riccardi, Tarbox thought about doing a bounce pass to Whiteside there. They pass it to Riccardi. Riccardi driving, gets his own rebound, gets fouled, and he'll go to the line. So Kendon Krogman making the call. Once again, seeing him reffing a little bit more. He actually transferred to UW Eau Claire. Went to, I think it was Southern Minnesota, to be a quarterback. So, in his sophomore season, or in his sophomore year, I guess. There's Brogelman floater, he's got it. So this Orioles JV team has 2 number 10s and 2 number 40s. I don't know how they get away with 2 of the same number on the court at the time. Obviously, in college football, they can have that. They can't have that, actually, and that's a flag. But this is not college football. So, and there's Brogelman 3. There's Goebel for the rebound. That was a pass out to Landon Ewer. Now it's Wellner. Ewer. So Carson Woodcock and Ryan Stark are the 2 number 10s. I think Woodcock, and that Woodcock's kind of the one at the logo right now, and Stark might be the one with the leg sleeve. But can't tell you. You could go off height here. One's 5'9" and the other's 6 foot. So yeah, I'd say Ryan Stark is coming out for Carter Pischke. Pass to Whiteside. That's Wellner guarding. Whiteside kind of gets bumped. And that's Braxton Tarbox in. So you have Braxton and Brody both in. There's Labor. A very good sophomore, I'd say. Doesn't get the credit he deserves. He's definitely very good at scoring. We might see it right here. He's talking good about him, and he forces a turnover. Here's Pischke. Pischke hands it off to Ewer. There's Wellner from way out beyond the 3-point line, and that's going to be a loose ball foul as Brody Tarbox hit the ground. So we get Braxton Tarbox will be the inbounder. As Ben Baltz will go to the scorer's table to check in. Could check in for any of these guys, really. Maybe it's Riccardi. They're big. And he tried to bounce past it to Tarbox. So there's, yeah, and I was right. Andrew Riccardi will come out. That's one of the number 40s. I think that's Connor Goebel. Listed at 6'5" on their like stat sheet here, or their roster. And that's going to be a travel. So no school today for Regis or any of the schools really in the surrounding area, but Stanley Boyd, only a 2-hour delay. Didn't get the full snow day. Or I guess not even a snow day, kind of just a cold day. As here's Whiteside. And Labor lost the ball, but he'll get it. And it was kind of getting poked away, Euro step. The basket won't count, but it was a nice little shot. And that's going to be a foul on number 40, Connor Goebel. So not a shooting foul, though. Unfortunate for Noah Labor. As Balt's looking to inbound to someone, and he'll give it to Whiteside in the corner. That's tightly guarded by Wellner, as there's Baltz gets his shot blocked, or tipped, I should say. Now we get Carson Woodcock. Here's Pischke. Pischke crossover fades away. And just short as Baltz was there for the rebound, but it trickles out to not Carter Whiteside, and that's Hayden Goebel down. Didn't quite see what happened. As he'll limp his way to the bench. May have rolled or tweaked his ankle. So we'll get the inbound to Brogelman. As Boda and Brogelman came in for Whiteside and I think Brody Tarbox. Oh, Brogelman thought about shooting, and here's Braxton. Drives, kicks out to Labor. Labor jab step, drives again, and he'll lose it. So here's Wellner. Wellner pass to Woodcock. Can't get it. As that was Ryan Stark fighting for the ball. Can't get the ball to go in, though. As the inbound to Brogelman, the point guard for this Regis JV team. 18-8 is your score so far. Not a lot of scoring in the past 18 minutes, I think, is what they play. Well, I guess to be 16, as that's going to be a foul on Carter Pischke. So will Boda go to the line? Nobody coming in for either of these two teams. That's good. Increases the lead to 11, hopes to move the lead to 12. So inbound, or not inbound. And Boda will miss the second, but rebound by Baltz. Kicks out to Brogelman. Brogelman, kind of mid-range shot can't go, and that's a steal by Shiloh Wellner. That looked like a travel, and yeah. In the NBA, they would not call that, as there's Anthony Riccardi will come in. The inbounded pass to Brogelman. 2 minutes remain in the first, 19-8, Ramblers. Here's Baltz. Tried to use the glass, but it doesn't go. So here's Wellner, been the main player with the ball so far. Woodcock back to him. Kind of throws it up and he'll go to the line, I think. Should be a shooting foul, and that's a shooting foul on Ben Baltz. So Wellner makes the first. Trying to get this lead back down to single digits. And a little strong on that one as there's Boda with the recovery. Boda listed at 6'6". There's Brogman, can't connect on the three. Good looking shot though. That's Pischke gets the rebound. That's shot by Start. No, that was Woodcock. I see the number 10, and there's two of them out there, so it gets a little confusing. So Wellner calling for the ball. One thing you have to notice, this Orioles team is a lot taller than the Ramblers team, as that's Pischke from three, can't get it. Under a minute. That's Boda. To Brogman. Even varsity, I mean, their tallest guy on varsity, I think, is David Riccardi. So could come into a factor later, but obviously we'll talk about that later when we get to about 7 o'clock. Got about an hour. As here's Wellner, fires from three. Can't get it. Thought he had it, though. And that's going Rambler way. So Boda was guarding on that shot. I really thought he had it. It was a good look. Don't hate the shot. Very low scoring for both sides. Not a lot of shots made. Not good shooting percentages, though. So pass to Brogman from the corner. Didn't take it. And that should be a thought it might have been a travel. As Brogman go to the line. 8 fouls in the first half for the Orioles. Only 1 for the Ramblers. Lots of fouls lately. And Brogman makes the first. So 4.8 seconds left. 20-9. As Wellner's all the way back. And I don't think anybody really sees him. Baltz hustles down. Wellner from the three. It's good! Shiloh Wellner gets his Orioles team hype as they're back to single digits. So we'll see you for the second half.
I am brave.
I am determined.
I am creative.
I am thoughtful and joyful.
Loving. Courageous.
Hardworking.
I am a leader.
I am loyal.
Funny.
I am a builder.
I am friendly to everybody.
I am a child of God.
I am Catholic.
Being a Rambler has given me the opportunity to discover who I am and who I want to be.
I want to be a soccer player.
A social worker.
I want to be an artist.
I want to be an engineer.
A chef.
I want to be a nurse.
An orthodontist.
When I grow up, I want to be a lawyer.
I want to be a teacher.
I want to do mission work.
I want to make those around me proud.
As Ramblers, we care about each other and support one another. I want to be seen as a leader.
Creative. Caring.
Hardworking.
Strong in my faith. Independent.
I want to be seen as a role model for others. Because of Regis. Because of Regis. Because of Regis.
Because of Regis,
Because of Regis,
Because of Regis, I am building my future. I can accomplish great things.
I can reach my goals.
Because of Regis, I can make my dreams come true.
I am part of something bigger than me.
I am building a strong foundation in my faith and in my education.
I am a rambler. I am a rambler.
I am a rambler.
I am a rambler.
I am a rambler.
I am a rambler.
We are Rams.
We can be anything.
We can be anything.
We can be anything.
We can be anything.
We can be anything because we are ramblers.
Regis has been a part of this community for decades, and we have a bright future ahead of us. Come join our tradition of excellence.
All right, welcome back to Regis High School in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. You're watching the JV game right now between the Stanley Boyd Orioles and the Regis Ramblers, obviously. The Ramblers currently have a 9-point lead, 21-12, off of a Shiloh Wellner 3, and he might take another one. He won't. Here's Alec Weir from 3, can't get it as there's Boda. That was a Boda and Connor Goebel fighting for it. So I'm joined with Tony Westner here for the second half. How's it going?
Great. How's it going for you, Peyton?
It's going pretty well now that you're here, honestly.
Makes all the difference.
Honestly. So are you excited for tonight's matchup?
I'm really excited because I think Regis lost by about 10 last time at Stanley.
Yeah.
And I'd really like to see them, avenge that loss. I think they need to beat Stanley in order to secure a better seed for their playoff games. So considering how easy it is, to come and watch them on the home court, I'd much rather see them play their first few playoff games here. Instead of driving, 2-3 hours.
Yeah, so the girls' brackets actually came out, if you didn't know this, and we'll probably talk about this later tonight.
I did hear about this, and they were 6th seed, right? But I heard that they're fighting for a better seed.
Yeah, so they're currently the 6th seed right now. They'd play Unity, but obviously they'd be at home. Unity is the 11th seed, Regis is the 6th seed currently. And the winner of that game, I think, would play Fall Creek.
Right.
So obviously if you're a Rambler fan, you kind of don't want that matchup.
Well, from what I understand, too, not only are they trying to redo their seed, but Fall Creek would like the seeding redone. Fall Creek would not, want to see a tough matchup.
Yeah, I don't think
their second round of playoffs either. It doesn't look good for either team when it's such a close matchup. Where are they 1-1?
Yeah, they are 1-1 on this year, and both of the away teams won. So home court advantage didn't really have a factor in their series this year, and it's just interesting because both these teams don't really want to play each other because you face a team for the third time, it's going to get scary.
Right, especially when it's as close as it's been. So, yeah, I don't think either team wants that to happen. So I actually think they'll have some support from other schools, higher up seeds, which you don't usually see, but it'll be interesting.
The girls' team was so highly ranked this year, obviously. You have LMA Cooper, who greatly boosted that ranking, and she had 44 points against Spash, a D1, one of the biggest D1 schools in the state. And just a 6 seed would be scary to be facing, especially this Rambler team, but their center, Malia Cassing, is down, as there's Griffin Boda might take that shot.
Yeah, but as far as I know, she's only out for a few weeks. At least that's what she was talking about. I don't think she had the MRI back last time we spoke, but she was confident or hopeful that she'd be back by the time playoffs started. So
yeah, especially if she might be out for longer, and you got to play that Fall Creek team with Jasmine Hewer, who is one of the best players in the conference.
Absolutely.
And obviously might be one of the best, kind of toe-to-toe with LMA Cooper there.
Right.
And so it's kind of hurt when she's obviously tall and you don't have your center. So that could be a factor as well going into the playoffs.
Of course.
Yeah, the boys' seeding hasn't come out. And obviously the conference championship is on the line this week for the Clover Belts, with this being the second best matchup, and Friday might be is going to be the biggest, no matter how how tonight's game turns out.
Right, and I haven't been made aware of when their seating meeting is for boys, but it's got to be coming up here pretty soon. Which is why this game tonight, especially against Stanley, is going to be such a instrumental game for their seed. And
Stanley will be at home on Friday against the Blackhawks, and that might be one of the biggest games of the season for the Clover Belt. Obviously, Stanley only lost by 1 point earlier this year, and it was 57-56. And they took the last shot, so they could have won that. And there's Chase Brogelman from 3, so we'll save some of these conversations for later. But the girls certainly, they have the ability to go far, but I mean, you look at some of their wins. Some of their wins aren't that impressive, honestly. Like, all their losses have came to the good teams, and that's not something you really want to have.
Absolutely. And I mean, even for boys, we had this interesting dynamic that might have happened if this event tonight would have been canceled due to the cold. They would have either played Stanley on Thursday or Saturday, because Stanley has their game against Bloomer on Friday. If they played them on Thursday, then they'd be going against Bloomer, maybe a little bit more tired and fatigued team, and probably would have helped Bloomer secure their spot at #1 in the conference. However, if they played them on Saturday after Bloomer, which we all thought would have been a pretty long game, considering they won by 1 last time, maybe that would have favored Regis winning. And if Stanley had beat Bloomer and then was tired the next day and Regis won, we're getting into a lot of hypotheticals here, but definitely could have shaken things up in the conference. It's looking a little bit more solid now for Bloomer and Stanley with a couple days of rest in between this game.
Yeah, and Bloomer was down by 18 against McDonald. And they came back and won that, which is just crazy. Down by 18 at home, and something you don't want to have happen is play Bloomer at home.
Right.
Because that crowd is a big factor. That student section is certainly chirping you the whole game, and it's kind of intimidating. And Zeke Strand, one of the best players in the conference, too. So
they know how to play the game.
They do know how to play the game, and it'll be some interesting matchups going forward in the playoffs. And I think a lot of these teams have the ability to go far. I mean, certainly Bloomer, Stanley Boyd, and Regis have the ability to go far in the playoffs.
Absolutely.
So here's Brogelman from the top of the key, and he gets it. He's had 8 points in the past, 2 minutes, with some big threes to put this team up by 20 and almost got the steal there. Yeah, so big week this week for some sports. I don't quite know the girls' schedule. I don't know if you do.
I'm not off the top of my hand, but I could probably figure it out.
Yeah. And that's Wellner will miss that, as there's Andrew Riccardi will recover it. So, yeah, a big week for the Clover Belt Conference sports, as I think Fall Creek is in first for girls and Bloomer's in the first for boys, as that's a good layup there. As Carter Whiteside will get the ball. Almost a turnover there by the Ramblers. Riccardi wanted to pass to Olsen there, kind of hesitated. Riccardi over to Boda. Boda driving, gets fouled. And the basket will count. Or no, never mind. I thought he was signaling for it, that it counted. So Braxton Tarbox and Nick Helland come in for Boda and Brogelman, as Whiteside strung off the glass, can't get that. There's Ewer. As Olsen on the fast break, bounce pass to Whiteside. Whiteside can't keep control of the ball. So Landon Ewer. See another famous Ewers, Quinn Ewers. Different spelling though. See, Quinn Ewers has an S. It's the quarterback for Texas, or was. I don't know if he entered the draft though. Obviously Arch Manning's the quarterback behind him, but I'm guessing you do not particularly care for that information. As here's Shiloh Wellner. As that was Connor Goebel, I'm thinking. I think it was, because, yeah, Lyric Lampson's on the bench. As there's Tarbox, loses it, and that's kind of got tackled by Oleg Weir. Yeah, so looking at this roster, lots of hype for the Stanley Boyd team, but not really for the Ramblers. And probably will be a factor in tonight's game. And David Riccardi hasn't been starting, so Andrew Birchbeck's been in his place at 6'1". Blake Rissler will probably be on one of the taller kids for the Orioles. That's Landon Ewer comes out. And that's Andrew Riccardi will force the steal, but it'll go out of bounds. So some of the best players in the Clover Belt facing tonight, and Charlie Howell, Blake Rissler. Shiloh Wellner having himself a bit of a game here, knocking down some big threes. And he gets that one, but it does not count, as there's a foul on Carter Whiteside. Tony, anything to add so far?
I mean, the Ramblers are playing a great offense right now. Their threes are connecting. You know, I think that's the difference.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're making their shots.
Yeah. So 22-point game here with 8:25 to go. Now we see a big foul differential in the first half, 8-1. The Orioles had 8. So.
And it's getting a little better in the second half. It's 4-3, but really, I think have the Orioles only scored 3 points in the second half so far?
Yeah.
Because they went into the second half.
No, I think they've scored 2 so far.
It was at 12. Okay,
Yeah,
they went into the second half having a single-digit lead, or the Ramblers having a single-digit lead.
Yeah.
And
so
now it's
I think it was 21-12 when we ended because Wellner hit the 3 as time expired.
I think you're right.
So Ramblers pulled away here fast on a 15-2 run. So Oriole defense can't really stop them so far. But the game's not over, still 8 minutes to go. So here's Wellner, drives, mid-range shots, not good. Tarbox there for the rebound. As Whiteside couldn't connect there. Pischke to Goebel. Goebel working on Riccardi, so Goebel, the junior, and Andrew Riccardi there, the freshman. Just size and maybe IQ was the factor in that basket there. As that was Stark, jumps on it, and there's Jack Schroeder. Gets his first 2 points of the game. Jack Schroeder, also the kicker for the football team. So plays soccer as well. Pretty good soccer player and pretty good kicker.
Almost like they go hand in hand there, Peyton.
Yeah.
Little bit different motion, but
yeah,
not too hard for a good soccer player like Jack to learn.
And he came into, he was a big factor in some of their games because having a reliable kicker certainly won them the game against United Township earlier this year. That's the team from Illinois. And just Bryant Brenner having a good kicker can be scary in some situations.
Right, I think before Jack, it was Alex Erickson, who was another soccer player, and I believe he only missed 2 kicks in his entire career. One was his sophomore year and one was his senior year.
Yeah, one was at State, actually, his senior year.
Yeah.
So, obviously, he had a lot of letters because he played soccer and football at the same time. He's also a very good hockey goalie, and he was a pretty good tennis player, too.
Absolutely.
I think if he dedicated his time to one sport, he probably could have went somewhere big for one of them.
Absolutely.
Jack of all trades, really.
Yep, and that, I mean, that's That's what's nice about a lot of these kids from Regis is they lack in size, but a lot of them are just multi-sport athletes.
Yeah.
You know, they go out for basketball because they want the endurance, they want the hand-eye coordination, and it's something that they, you know, maybe they like and they get good at, and sometimes maybe they don't like it and they're fine with being on JV or C team, you know.
I think Brian Brenner kind of pressures them to play 3 sports, but to try and get that versatility, I see every sport teaches you something different.
Absolutely, and I think that's one thing that the Ramblers have that it's tough. It's tough to have, but I think it's one thing that they have that leads them against other schools is their mentality. They are so used to being down but never being out of it.
Yeah.
To being able to see the opportunity to come back.
Yeah.
And I mean, it makes them all better athletes, but also just a better team in general.
Yeah.
So
obviously in football, they're not behind a lot.
Right. No, but even when they do get down, and then they fire back quick. So
some substitutions, excuse me. As Brad Terrace was talking to his crew for the Ramblers, and the JV coach is Seth House for the Orioles. And varsity's Dakota Nichols. Here's Ewer. It's out to Wellner. Brogelman Guardian up by 22 with just under 5 minutes to go. Here's Goebel. He'll get fouled by, I think, Anthony Riccardi. As both of the Riccardi brothers are out there, and the tar boxes. Something pretty cool to see. Brogelman's the only one Brogelman's the only one out there on the floor for the Ramblers who isn't related to someone out there on the floor for the Ramblers. That's going to be a foul on Pischke. So 6 fouls for each team here. Pass to Tarbox. Braxton. Passes to his brother. Quick step. Rogan gives it to Anthony Riccardi. Little Euro step there. Underhand layup, and it's not good, and he'll get called for a travel. Here's Pischke. Bodo will go to the scorer's table. Stolen by Tarbox, and he'll get fouled by Pischke. That'll be his 3rd. So there's Schroeder, Whiteside, and Boda comes in for Brody Tarbox. That's going to be Andrew Riccardi and Chase Brogelman. Some of these guys go right to the varsity game as Brogelman, Brody Tarbox, and Micah Olson. Also Carter Whiteside. All be sitting on the bench for that varsity squad. And Ben Baltz will be too. I don't know if I said his name. But Ben Baltz, I don't see is out there actually. He might already be down in the locker room. As there's Wellner way outside, gets it. Shiloh Wellner. 42-21. Good shot there. He's not afraid to let it fly, is he?
No, he is not.
As there's Whiteside trying to return the favor, can't. But Jack Schroeder's there for the rebound. Pass to Schroeder in the corner. Can't get it. Ramblers get the rebound again, but I think it's a travel, and it's going Oriole way. So Ramblers got the rebound, but they'll turn it over. So there's Braxton Tarbox comes out. No timeouts called, actually. Kind of fascinating. As Brogelman, Olsen, Tarbox, and Labor will all leave to go to the locker room. Talk it over with the team. So there's Ryan Stark. We'll go to the scorer's table. There's Boda working on the inside off the glass. Good layup. 44 for the Ramblers. Here's Pischke. Screen by Goebel, excuse me. Jack Schroeder guarding. Boda comes over to help. You were Pischke from 3. Can't get it. And that's Anthony Riccardi got the rebound. There's Whiteside. Helen. And here's Wellner. Behind the back. So here's Wellner from 3. Can't get it. And taking a lot of shots, making a lot of them too, as we got 1:30 to go. Whiteside tries to use the glass, doesn't get it, but Boda's there for the rebound and can't get it. Rambler lead by 20. Wellner trigger happy, but doesn't take that shot as there's Boda gets the rebound. Or doesn't get the rebound, he gets a steal. Excuse me. So Helland, it's the shoulder, here's Boda. Fires it into Helland. And that's gonna be a blocked shot by Lamson. As Whiteside came out. There's only one player on the bench for the Ramblers, as they'll probably just waste the next 40 seconds. As here's Boda from 3, uncontested, misses. Now here's Wellner. Driving, can't get it, but Orioles rebound. Wellner from 3, gets it. So 44-27, that might be the final score. Ramblers might just take one last shot though. So 10 seconds to go. And that's gonna be your game, 44-27. Ramblers win. So good game there. Not much to really talk about. Regis kind of dominated the whole game. Limited that Orioles offense, but Shiloh Wellner definitely took a lot of threes and made a lot of them. It's kind of the only life. So we'll get back to you at 6:50. So see you then.